there. If you're looking for safe shelter, I'll warn you, there's none to be found. Move on if you can. Lothering's lost.
Do you know about the bandits just outside the village?
Thieves prey on the unfortunate whenever they get the chance. We've had refugees streaming from the south for the last 2 days. The Chantry and Tavern are full to bursting. There simply isn't enough food to go around, and we Templars can barely keep order. You'd be better off elsewhere, my friend.
Are you keeping me from going in?
I'm just warning you, things may not be as hospitable as you would expect. People are frightened.
Is anyone in charge here?
The band has marched north with Tairn Loghain, so Lothering's on its own. Most folks look to Elder Miriam. Otherwise, you could speak to Sir Bryant in the Chantry, I suppose. It's up to you.
Ah, look how they moan and wail and gnash their teeth. 'Tis sad to watch how helplessly they scurry about.
It's just a guess, but I'm thinking everyone in Lothering is aware of the approaching Darkspawn horde.
Back off. I have the right to charge what I wish.
You profit from their misfortune. I should have the Templars give away everything in your carts.
You wouldn't dare. Any of you step too close to my goods and I'll...
It's so nice to see everyone working together in a crisis. Warms the heart.
Oh, you there. You look able. Would you care to make a tiny profit helping a beleaguered businessman?
Is your profiteering ruffling some feathers?
You could say that, yes.
The nerve of these people!
He is charging outlandish prices for things people desperately need. Their blood is filling his pockets.
'Tis only survival of the fittest. All of these cretins would do the same in his shoes, given the chance.
I have limited supplies. The people decide what those supplies are worth to them.
You bought most of your wares from these very people last week. Now they flee for their lives, and you want to talk business?
Look, stranger, I've 100 silvers if you drive this rabble off, starting with that priest. I'm an honest merchant, nothing more.
You don't think you're being unscrupulous?
Would it help these folks if they could buy no goods at all?
They spend their very last coin because they are desperate, and this man preys upon them as surely as the bandits outside the city.
Ah, I'm not arguing anymore. Drive off this woman and get your 100 silvers. Otherwise, I'm taking my wagon and leaving.
Lower your prices or lose your goods.
You wouldn't dare. I'm leaving.
You're not going anywhere.
But you... Never mind.
What are you doing? Run, everyone! Run!
The Chanters are still operating their board. Now that's dedication.
Ah, the Chantry board. Yes, let us run errands for the betterment of mankind as well as a few coppers.
Mother! Where are you?
Stop looking at me, mongrel. I have nothing you want. Why do you keep staring at me so, you flea-ridden beast? Can you not tell when you are not wanted? I enjoy company of creatures of the wild, not stench-ridden domesticated wolves. And he persists. Maddening!
Did you speak to that knight yesterday? Said he was from Redcliffe.
He talked to everyone in the tavern. How are we supposed to know where the urn of sacred ashes is? Might as well ask us how to get to the moon.
He said that all the Redcliffe knights were looking for it, as if they didn't have anything better to do. I don't get it.
Well, look what we have here, then. I think we've just been blessed.
Uh-oh. Loghain's men. This can't be good.
Didn't we spend all morning asking about a dwarf by this very description? And everyone said they hadn't seen one.
It seems we were lied to.
Gentlemen, surely there is no need for trouble. These are no doubt simply more poor souls seeking refuge.
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
Looks like he wants a fight. I'm happy to oblige.
Right, let's make this quick.
Now let's see. Which one?
I never liked this part.
right.
I think we work well together.
Surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
They aim to butcher us. They deserve no mercy.
Please wait!
They have surrendered. They were no match for you. Let them be.
Start running. Right now.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help.
So I see. Where does the sister learn to fight like that?
I wasn't born in the Chantry, you know. Many of us had more colorful lives before we joined. Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering. Oh, I was.
I'm Ked. A pleasure.
Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the Darkspawn, yes? That is what Grey Wardens do. I know after what happened you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along.
And just what help would you be to me?
The Maker told me to join you. Surely, he would not do so without good reason.
Can you elaborate?
I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's true. I had a dream. A vision.
More crazy? I thought we were all full up.
Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair, and this darkness, this chaos, will spread. The Maker doesn't want this. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
I need more than prayers, I'm afraid.
I can fight. I can do more than fight. As I said, I was not always a lay sister. I put aside that life when I came here. But now, if it is the Maker's will, I will take it up again. Gladly. Please let me help you.
Very well. I will not turn away help when it is offered.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you. I appreciate being given this chance. I will not let you down. Indeed.
Terran Logain is the new regent. Isn't that a good thing?
I heard that he may have had something to do with the king's death.
But I thought Darkspawn killed the king. That doesn't make any sense.
It's probably political nonsense. We'll be lucky if they don't burn down the entire country fighting over the throne.
I've got a cousin in the Templars. He says the mages in the tower out on Lake Calenhard are all turning into demons.
They always say that, though.
Well, this time it's true. They're not sure what to do about it yet, he says.
What's to do? I thought you killed them.
Easier said than done. Mages pick a fine time to go turning into demons, I tell you.
Shokke basit isra, marade starit, merade twasit, abana kyun, maras shokra, ananne sam kyun. You aren't one of my captors.
I remember the revered mother mentioning this man. She called him a savage from the far north.
I have nothing to say that would amuse a dwarf. Leave me in peace.
You're a prisoner? Who put you here?
I'm in a cage, am I not? I've been placed here by the Chantry.
The revered mother said he slaughtered an entire family, even the children.
It is as she says. I am Sten of the Beresad, the vanguard of the Kunari peoples.
I've heard the Kunari called the warmongers of the north.
We are called a lot of things. What's your point? Though it matters little now. I will die soon enough.
Are you just going to leave him here? To die like an animal? This is too cruel a punishment, even for a murderer.
Not to put too fine a point on it, but Kunari are renowned warriors. If we could release him, perhaps he might help us.
This is a proud and powerful creature, trapped as prey for the Darkspawn. If you cannot see a use for him, I suggest releasing him for mercy's sake alone.
Mercy? I wouldn't have expected that from you.
I would also suggest that Alistair take his place in the cage.
Yes, that's what I would have expected.
I suggest you leave me to my fate.
You know, I find myself in need of skilled help.
No doubt. What help do you seek?
I am sworn to defend the land against the Blight.
The Blight? Are you a Grey Warden, then?
Yes, I am.
Surprising. My people have heard legends of the Grey Warden's strength and skill. Though I suppose not every legend is true.
Would the revered mother let you free?
Perhaps if you told her the Grey Wardens need my assistance. It seems as likely to bring my death as waiting here.
I'll leave you for now.
Farewell, then.
To be left here to starve? Or to be taken by the Darkspawn? No one deserves that. Not even a murderer.
Eaten alive by Darkspawn. That's cruel. I wonder why the revered mother's so afraid of him.
A penitent man left to be torn to pieces by Darkspawn. 'Tis a fine example of the Chantry's mercy, is it not?
So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Or we could not talk about your mother. That works for me.
Darkspawn will feast the legions of evil, and on your doorstep they will feast upon our hearts. There is nowhere to run. This evil will cover the world like a plague of locusts.
Please, you're scaring the children.
Better to slit their throats now than let them suffer at Darkspawn hands. There! One of their minions is already amongst us. This man bears their evil stench. Can you not see the vile blackness that fills him?
Why don't you keep your voice down?
I watch the Black Horde descend on my people. I will not be silent.
Please stop! Somebody shut his mouth!
But isn't he right? The ban left us. We're going to die.
This minion is but the first of those who will destroy us!
Don't be a fool. Darkspawn can be defeated.
No! I have seen them! You cannot run! You cannot fight!
Standing around and shouting won't save you.
There is nothing to do! No hope is left!
We dwarves have held off the Darkspawn for centuries.
Are you calling me a coward?
I'm calling you an idiot. Listen to yourself for a moment.
I have shamed my ancestors. But the blackness will come.
He was right, wasn't he? There's no hope for us.
There's always hope. Muster your courage.
Our courage? But there's nothing we can do.
Do all humans give up so easily? How sad.
Then, what shall we do? We must try to go north somehow.
I have a wonder, Alistair, if you will indulge me.
Do I have a choice?
Of the two of you that remain, are you not the senior Grey Warden here? I find it curious that you allow another to lead while you follow.
You find that curious, do you?
In fact, you defer to a new recruit. Is this the policy of the Grey Wardens, or simply a personal one?
What do you want to hear? That I prefer to follow? I do.
You sound so very defensive.
Couldn't you crawl into a bush somewhere and die? That would be great, thanks.
There's word of Darkspawn stragglers, but no sign of the main horde. We are the only hope of protection this village has now, and I will not abandon them. That is all. May the Maker have mercy on us. Yes? Who might you be?
I am the Grey Warden, Ked.
I see. I am Ser Bryant, commander of the Lothering Templars. Tern Loghain declared all Grey Wardens traitors responsible for the King's death. You know this, I hope.
The Grey Wardens did no such thing.
I don't believe the Grey Wardens would be as careless or malicious as the Tern claims. But either way, there it is. It is best you not linger, though. Just in case.
About those bandits outside the village.
Maker's breath, how many times must we drive them off?
They won't bother you again. I killed them.
All of them? By yourself?
It's true. I saw it from my post. It was over so fast, we didn't even have time to get over there.
Sad that it needed to come to that. But then they asked for it. Will you accept a small reward for your service?
Certainly. Thank you.
If it interests you, there is a Chanter's board outside full of quests that need doing. The Chanters even offer pay for some of them. Now, unless there's something else you need.
I need some information.
If the matter is important, certainly.
What can you tell me about the imprisoned Kunari?
I was there at the farmhold. The beast stood there, wet with the blood of the children. He didn't even deny slaughtering them. The revered mother ordered him caged. She has more mercy than I do. But perhaps she is right, and the Maker has love for all his creations, even the Kunari.
Is there a way he could be released?
You can ask the revered mother. I say let him rot until the Darkspawn claim him.
Have you heard any recent news?
Other than the Darkspawn horde bearing down on us, none of it is good. Teyrn Loghain is set to declare himself king, I hear. Disaster piled on disaster.
King Cailan had no heir?
None that we know of. Teyrn Loghain has no legitimate claim on the throne. He may be a hero and his daughter may be queen, but he is a commoner, and the king's corpse is barely cold. If Arl Eamon was able to intervene, perhaps it would not have gone this far. I do not care who takes the throne. Only fools fight over who owns a cottage while it burns down around them.
What is wrong with Arl Eamon?
Arl Eamon has fallen ill, and his knights are on a quest for the sacred urn filled with Andraste's ashes, said to cure any malady. He must be very ill if they chase miracles as the only cure. One of the Arl's knights, Sir Donnell, is here searching for fantasies while... never mind. Ask him if you care about this foolishness.
I should go.
Travel safely, and may the Maker watch over you.
Who? I beg your pardon. I did not see you approach.
Sir Donnell? Is that you?
Alistair? By the Maker, how are you? I was certain you were dead.
Not yet. No thanks to Teyrn Loghain.
If Arl Eamon were well, he'd set Loghain straight soon enough.
So you're here looking for the Urn of Sacred Ashes, then?
I am indeed. Andraste's ashes are said to cure any illness. But I fear we are chasing a fable. With each day, my hope dims.
I was hoping to meet Arl Eamon, in fact.
Why is that, if I may ask?
We need his help against Teyrn Loghain.
I see. The Arl is a popular man, it's true. Teyrn Loghain, however, is a hero throughout Ferelden. Whatever the Teyrn has done or not done, the Arl remains ill, or worse. That is my primary concern.
Do you think Loghain is involved with the Arl's illness?
The Arl fell ill before the king died. But what if Loghain planned that too? Oh, such thoughts do not sit well with me.
We should see what's happening in Redcliffe ourselves. I believe that now more than ever.
If nothing else, I am certain you would be welcomed at Castle Redcliffe. The Arlessa is there, and she could tell you more than I could.
I wanted to tell you. Your friend Sir Henrik is dead. I have something of his.
What? And you have his locket? And a note? Maker's mercy. Thank you for giving me these. I would never have known otherwise.
I dealt with the bandits that killed him.
Thank you. I wonder how many of us have met similar fates on this mad quest.
Tell me more about this urn of sacred ashes.
Supposedly, the urn contains the ashes of the prophetess Andraste. Surely you know all this.
We dwarves don't learn much about your religion.
If you're truly interested, there are books here containing a great deal of lore. Nothing I have found leads me to believe that this was anything more than a quest of desperation. With Henrik gone, I need to return to Redcliffe. Perhaps later I will seek out the scholar his note mentions. But I must go. Thank you again, good sir. You have been most helpful.
And when the Maker spoke, a chant of light
You ever
scattered in the
wonder
darkness.
if that's an accurate
Word
likeness of
despair,
Andraste?
fear and ignorance.
Maybe she was ugly.
Let those who
Maybe
cry
she
out
had
from
buck
the shadows
teeth.
be comforted.
How will we know?
Those who seek redemption be delivered.
Praying for help from a
those who
prophet
have
they
sinned
burned,
be
and a god
forgiven.
who has turned his back on them not
Spreads
once,
across all
but
four
twice.
corners of the world. Let it rise at last to the ears of the Maker. Let him hear our unwavering faith. Let him hear...
Good day, Sister Leliana. I'm surprised to see you're still in Lothering.
It is good to see you as well, Your Reverence.
I do not recognize your companion. Greetings. Will you be making a donation to the Chantry? Our need has never been greater.
I'm afraid I have nothing to offer.
I understand. Not all are wealthy enough to spare even a few coins for the Maker's favor. What can I do for you then?
I'm a Grey Warden, and I need your help.
A Grey Warden? Here? Oh dear. You put me in a difficult position. You must know that Tairn Loghain declared the Grey Wardens to be outlaws.
So I've heard. But it is Loghain who betrayed the king.
Tairn Loghain? That is as hard for me to believe as his condemnation of the Wardens. There is a price on your head. Lay low, and I promise to keep your presence a secret. That is the best I can do. Now, if there is nothing else?
I want to talk about Sten, the Kunari you imprisoned.
It might have been kinder to execute him, but I leave his fate to the Maker. Why does he interest you?
I want him freed. I might have a use for him.
Then his next victims might count you and me as their murderers.
I was thinking you might release him into my custody.
And what do you say on this, Leliana? You know your friend better than I.
These are unusual times, Your Reverence. With us, the Kunari might do some good. I am sure of it, in fact.
Were things not so desperate? Very well, I trust you. Take these keys to his cage and make her watch over you.
Thank you, Your Reverence. Your trust is not misplaced.
And then shall the chant of light make it pure. Let all mankind be humble.
So, let me get this straight. You were a cloistered sister?
You must have been a brother before you became a Templar, no?
I never actually became a Templar. I was recruited into the Grey Wardens before I took my final vows.
Do you ever regret leaving the Chantry?
No, never. Do you?
Yes. You may not believe it, but I found peace there. The kind of peace I've never known.
It used to get so quiet at the monastery that I would start screaming until one of the brothers came running. I would tell them that I was just checking. You never know, right?
No, I never did anything like that. I enjoyed the quiet.
Suit yourself. The look on their face was always priceless.
I'm cold. I don't like this.
You lived there in that forest your entire life?
I left it on occasion, but I always returned. Why? Is that so strange? It was my home.
But it was just you and your mother there? No one else?
Mother occasionally had company.
What? Company? Do I even want to ask?
No, you really don't.
You wish something more of me?
I have the key to open your cage.
I confess, I did not think the priestess would part with it.
She agreed to release you into my custody.
So be it. Set me free and I will follow you against the Blight.
Very well, I'll let you out.
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
And what if I don't lead to your atonement?
Then I will find it myself. May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
We done heard what was said. You're a warden. I don't know if you killed King Cailan, and make her forgive me, I don't care. But that bounty on your head could feed a lot of hungry bellies. Attack!
Why are we stopping?
I think we should talk for a moment.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
I need to know if I can trust you at my back.
I am Kunari. I have given my word to aid you. We are not people of idle promises.
I've never seen a Kunari before. Tell me about your people.
No.
No? Why not?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of, the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
A little hostile, aren't we?
Many humans have said that to me. I do not understand it. If I were indeed hostile, you would be bleeding.
Ah, so this is you being calm and helpful.
Couldn't you tell?
Moving on. Are you alright? You were in that cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
You said you were in the army, right?
I am.
Why would the Qunari send soldiers here?
The Antam are the eyes, hands, and mouth of the Qunari. We are how my people know the world.
You know, you didn't really answer my question.
No, I didn't.
Are you always this stubborn?
Yes.
Have you ever fought in a war?
I have always fought in war, dwarf.
Right. What do you mean by that?
My people have been at war since the moment we set foot in the Northern Islands.
Naturally, the natives didn't want to give up their land.
It is not the native humans we fight.
Who, then?
The enemy is everywhere. The jungle itself, vipers, hunting cats, even some of the flowers can kill the unwary. And always there is the Imperium and the Talvashoth.
What are Talvashoth?
I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
So, what made you decide to become a soldier?
Decide? I am a Sten of the Beresad. I did not choose to be who I am any more than you did.
Never mind. Let's keep moving.
As you wish.
Are we done with this place? It may not be here later should we leave now.
Someone help us! Mighty timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged.
Just how obliged, exactly?
You want a reward, eh? I suppose that's an entirely reasonable request. How does 100 silver sound? I was going to use that to fix up the cart, but quite frankly, I'll be grateful enough that my son and I come out of this with our heads.
That sounds just fine.
Good. One good turn deserves another. That's what the missus always claims. The name's Bodon Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way.
It's a bit complicated, but you're welcome to come along.
Complicated? Somehow I imagine that only says half of it. Thank you for the offer, but there may be more excitement on your path than is good for my boy and me. Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
Bad dreams, huh?
Must have been something I ate.
Drank more like, as in the tainted blood, remember? You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
The Archdemon. Is that the dragon?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
I'm not frightened.
I screamed like a little girl. Duncan said he thought I had someone in my room. Not embarrassing at all. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
So it's just a dream. Why say it's a vision?
I have had dreams. This was different somehow. When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
I suppose I couldn't sit by either.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a blight to stop.
What do you need?
Do you want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
He was like a father to you. I understand.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the blight and everything. I'm sorry.
No harm done, Alistair.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak to.
What about the other Grey Wardens?
I don't know. I have no idea what the Grey Wardens do for their... when they fall in battle. Dwarves don't practice cremation, do they? How do your people honor your dead?
We entomb our dead within the stone beneath our taigs.
I heard about that, now that I think about it. Their spirits return to the rock, strengthening the foundation of the taig. It sounds so strange.
No stranger than burning your honored dead to ashes.
I suppose you're right. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Maybe I'll go to High Ever with you when you go.
I'd like that. So would he, I think.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Is Flemeth really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
A nutty old bat.
Sometimes I do wonder the very same thing. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Ah, I see. That does explain much. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
That sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Just how long ago is this?
Many centuries, before this land was even named Ferelden. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the Bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
He sold his wife to another man?
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
She spoke to spirits or demons?
Spirits first, and 'twas they who slew Conabar. Flemeth did not turn to the demon until much later. Lord Conabar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Which? She never invaded, or he never defeated her?
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
How is it that Flemeth has survived for so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
Aren't abominations usually insane horrors?
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery. I suspect, even to her.
The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters?
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Why would she refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Do you believe her version of the tale?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has coloured her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
An interesting story. Thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
My mother is a useless drunk, if you must know.
Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.